Electro and Bono Movie Power Hour. You know what? Where's Hawk at? Listener discretion advised. Hands in.
Welcome to the Electro and Bono Movie Power Hour. I am Electro, of course.
Yo, what's up? This is Bono.
And we are back again with another exciting edition of the Movie Power Hour. The miles are racking up. The power, I think we're losing a little power, a little steam, you know.
Yeah,
we're getting older.
It's been a while.
We're getting older, but the power keeps going. The hours are just as long. And, you know, we're here to talk to you about movies. That's what we do around here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big movie lover, of course.
You do it obsessively.
Yeah, it's
pretty sick.
It is sick. I know.
You need help.
I know I need help. Thank you for saying this to me here.
It's an observation, man. I got you.
I do. I spend a lot of money on movies.
You do.
Physically and going to the movie theater and then buying toys for movies. It's a lot.
There's actually action figures are hitting right now, dude. Target has some pretty cool stuff.
I'm reverting back. I'm going back to my roots, buddy. Toys and movies.
All right.
And so we watched some new movies in the movie theater. It's been a while since we've recorded. These movies are racking up, so we got to get our opinions out there. I've obviously been watching a lot more movies than you have.
Yeah, I don't really. Okay, so then let me see. I do it a little differently. Okay? I watch a couple movies here and there. You tell me, hey, I'm going to this. You just recently rewatched one of our favorites. In fact, episode 3? Episode 2, maybe?
I think we're up there. It's up there.
And we're talking The Mummy, which technically is episode number 1, okay, in our hearts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's movie number 1.
This podcast started because of Okon, okay?
Easily. This journey started 3,000 years ago in the city of Hamanop. Okay.
Exactly.
It was written in gold. Told by the pharaohs.
Protected by the Magi. You know what I'm saying?
The priests of Imhotep.
You know, so I mean, whenever I get the chance, I will, and I am what you call your general consumer of movies, if that.
Well, you know, there was a point where we went harder. We were big Blu-ray people. We were always watching movies. Obviously, our lifestyles are changed now. You're a father. You have a family. You're obviously going to have less time to watch movies than me. I have all the time to watch movies. I have so much time. And what sucks is that I'm watching movies, I don't know, 35% of the time of my free time.
Yeah.
Another 15% is just scrolling through streaming
to find which movie I'm going to watch. It's sick. It's sickening.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. I feel like I need to cancel all my
don't do that. There's good stuff coming out, man. And that's what we're talking about, too, is the movies that are coming out right now, movies that not only you've seen, but like that are out there for people.
Shit's just going to stream. You know, that's another thing right now. Like, everybody thinks that the movie theaters are straight dying. Memorial Day just happened. We've just been talking about how no one's spending money right now.
Right.
In general, fast food is super expensive right now. Going to the theater is like right now when people are trying not to spend their money. It's not a necessity.
Right.
You don't have to do it.
Right.
And people are doing it way less and less with the new generation coming up. We're the ones going to I'm assuming my generation, our age, are the ones that are going to the movies more. Younger people aren't going to the movies.
Right. Unless it's an event, right? It's like a big release.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, some shit. Yeah, the Eras movie.
Yeah. Barbie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I go to the movies probably.
The theater.
The theater. Once or twice a month, you know, depending on the movie. If there's nothing out, I'm not just going to force myself.
Right.
But, you know, there was some cool shit coming out, things that I was excited for. And essentially, none of these movies are making any money, starting with The Fall Guy. I was pretty excited about this one. This is the director of Deadpool, Maybe the first Deadpool?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. The Deadpool short. He directed that. Like, remember there was that little clip that came out before the movie was made, and it essentially got the movie made. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
It's a scene where he's like on top of the bridge, like waiting for the bad guys, and he's like drawing and stuff.
Okay.
It was essentially that, but Ryan Reynolds and a group of people just shot that. They didn't have permission or a script or nothing. They just did that whole scene to kind of show it and to be like, look, people want this. And then the movie got made. Oh. And that scene's in the movie.
I didn't even know that, dude.
Yeah. So I guess that guy directed that and didn't get to direct the movie. Rude.
I mean, you know.
Or I don't know. I thought he had. But he directed Deadpool 2 for sure.
Okay.
He directed Atomic Blonde, which I never watched.
Same here. No way. No fucking chance.
Damn, dude. This is James McAvoy.
Bro, you know me. I barely even watch these Deadpool movies, bro. And I saw them once. You know what I mean? Again, your obsession with movies goes further. And then I understand it's Ryan Reynolds, you know?
Yeah.
But,
So you understand.
So you saw it. And I did, out of respect for sure. But, I don't know. I
don't like the Deadpool movies?
They're okay. Don't get me wrong. I like, everyone loves a good corny ass joke. It's fun, and some good killing. Mm-hmm. Some R-rated killing is the cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's what these movies need.
Silly kills, joyful kills.
Yeah.
Putting a smile to your face.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He directed Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, see, start with that.
I never watched. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
Okay. And then he directed Bullet Train, which we both really liked.
Okay, that was cool.
So the Fall Guy looked like it was going to be more of that kind of movie. Like, you know, he made Bullet Train, which is a bunch of different actors and like a cool little setting, cool story. You know, it's a train. Come on, you can't go wrong with a movie on a fucking train. So then when you see they got fucking Gosling, they got Emily Blunt, you know, and it's about stunt guys, and they got Kick-Ass in there, of course. They got the what's his name? Something Duke, the guy from Us.
I don't know his name, but yeah, we see that Gosling,
Winston Duke,
Winston, powerful name.
Oh yeah,
powerful. Gosling's coming out of this Barbie hype, right? So you see, he's doing what? A Fall Guy movie, a stunt man. I'll watch it. Sure, let's see this dude get tossed around.
Yeah.
If it was him, right? But whatever. It's part of the whole movie thing. Just saying. Just exploited that to us all. You know, in a tasteful way. I enjoyed it, dude. It was a good movie.
All right. So it had 7.0 out of 10 on IMDb. Not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate, for sure.
Rotten Tomatoes, it's got 81%. An 86% audience score. So that's pretty good. And so I really enjoyed this film. I knew it was going to have action. It's basically trying to sell this as like, this is the stunt movie or like the action movie to watch this summer. You know, this is probably going to have the best car chases or whatever. It's this big old love letter to stunt men and stunt work in movies, which is why I really appreciated about the movie. Personally.
Yeah, a different insight into what that world is like.
Yeah,
or might be like.
Exactly. We don't know. But let's see here. Guess the budget.
The budget for this one,
Guy.
I would say, there was some pretty cool stuff.
There were some pretty neat things, huh?
Yeah, I would say a couple mil, especially Gosling, right?
Mil.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think, 3, 4?
no, probably like a good, 30, 40 mil. Is that a lot?
It's a little for what this movie
what the movie was. Okay.
What it cost.
I mean, most of the stuff was pretty practical, I think. I don't know. Was there a lot of fucking...
There's a good amount of CG, but I don't think that's what cost money. The stunts, because they did a lot of it, like, for real. I'm pretty sure that cost a lot of money. And then, Gosling and Blunt.
Yeah.
They just both made the 2 biggest movies.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. Take another guess.
More than that?
Yeah, a lot more.
A lot more? Fuck, 80 million?
80,000.
80,000 million.
80,000 clean. No, more.
More? 120? I mean, fuck.
A little bit more.
130.
Yes.
Really? Well, Gosling, dude. You gotta pay the man. You gotta pay him. Just fucking came out of Barbie.
Yeah. So this movie is coming out at 130. What's really selling it, right? You got my boy fucking Gosling.
Yeah.
He's coming off of Barbie. Possibly people will show up for him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've never gone to a movie to be like, I want to go watch it because Ryan Gosling is in it. I've never been sold on a movie by just him.
Right. Well, I remember when you told me that The Notebook had come out, and you were like, "Bro, you got to watch this shit." And I was like, "Okay."
It's like they put my life up on the screen. Yeah. Really, like they took my Notebook.
I am Gosling.
I've never seen that.
You're a liar. You lie.
I swear to God, I've never seen it.
Dude,
how many times have you seen it?
I've seen it like 3 times.
I've seen it 0.
Don't lie to the people.
I'm not lying.
You're a movie fanatic. It's like I know you've seen it.
I actually used to really dislike Gosling and would go out of my way to not watch his movies up until.
Because of The Notebook? Because of her? Or why? Just tell us, dude. It's okay.
It was Notebook related.
What's there not to see? Rachel McAdams and Gosling. It's perfect.
Yeah. No, but
perfect movie.
I mean, I already knew what the fucking... I saw the trailers.
Yeah.
I got it.
Look, man.
I didn't need to watch it.
You don't have to sell me, okay? I seen the movie. All right.
I've seen the clips. I've seen the famous clips online. I've never seen the movie, but I get it. I feel like even though I haven't seen it, I could tell you everything that happens in it.
You don't get it, dude. At all. I'm sorry. You need to watch that and get back to the listeners. They need to know.
All right. Maybe one day we'll do a Notebook episode.
Okay, there you go.
But anyway, some of his younger work. Let's look at fucking.
Well, okay, so I think that plays into what the sell for this movie is too, because since then and now he does this Barbie movie. First of all, every fucking woman in the world that feels any type of way has seen the fucking Notebook. They all just went to go see Barbie. Blunt just put on a performance of a fucking lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So like this movie is meant to be successfit's people not only since then have been following Ryan Gosling, but they already know he comes with it. I'm not a huge Gosling fan, but it's a reason to watch a movie. Sure, I'll fucking watch it, whatever.
Yeah.
And Blunt as well.
This movie came out on Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Sexy. And guess how much money it has made since then. So this was supposed to be the beginning of the blockbuster, the summer blockbusters. So far this year, Dune 2 is the movie that's made like pretty good. I think it's made like 700 million, 800 million. So something like that. Maybe not as much, but it's up there, right? That came out in March. So since then, there hasn't really been a big movie. So they were thinking this was going to be the one. And I was excited about it. I was like, I like the director. I like Bullet Train. Gosling has won me over in the last 5 years or so, okay?
Yeah.
He won me over. I'm in for Gosling.
Yeah.
And this is the first time ever that I was like, okay, like I respect what this movie's about. It's supposed to be about stuntmen. It's like respecting movies and, paying tribute. So
right.
I'm in. You got throw Blunt in there. That's 3 for 3. So I was excited. I went to see it. But guess how much it has made so far? It's been over a month.
A month, I would say 175 mil.
Okay. Well, you're not far off. Worldwide, it is at 159.
Okay.
And US and Canada at 81, almost 82. Which,
it's not bad. When I saw the preview to it, I'm like, okay, I want to watch this movie, but it's not like an event, is what I'm saying. It's like not these big Marvel movies. It's not like, Oppenheimer was a fucking event. as well as Barbie. Even though they came out when they came out, right? It was later into the year.
Yeah.
And this is just the start of essentially what is happening now. Graduations are happening now. People are out of school. School's out for the summer. And you get to watch movies. And this is the start of that. And maybe people just weren't out to see some shit,
Yeah.
But at least that's good that it made its money back. I think it's worth it.
But it's not... That's not considered a success right now.
Right.
Especially because of the budget. $130 million budget. That's not including advertising and everything. And then also 2 weeks. So opening weekend, it makes almost 28 million, which is bad.
Right.
Especially when you just spent 130 million to make your fucking movie.
Right.
And so it starts there. The studio panics. In 2 weeks, this movie is now available for you to rent for $20 at home. You don't have to go to the fucking movie theater. The fucking movie theaters or the studios are straight up like shooting themselves in the foot, dude. It's
right.
Like, leave the movie out. I mean, it's still playing, but make it fucking so that people have to go to the movies to watch your shit, dude. Like,
it's the event part to it. It's
the
experience of going out and seeing this and whatever.
I mean, if you just start, and I know it was fucking nice during the pandy, we couldn't go to the movies, so it was, and we thought the world was ending. So, give us the new Matrix movie. Right?
Thank you.
We're gonna die.
Thanks, guys.
Let us watch that shit.
I've been waiting, and we got it.
I felt like I died when I watched that movie.
Wow.
You didn't like it.
I know, it hurt. It hurt. I'm still till death, though. You know what I mean?
All right.
Matrix.
All right. But yeah, this is like one of the things that right now that's contributing, I think, to people not going to the movie theaters. And it's getting scary because a lot of places are closing down. Fucking who knows how long these places are going to be able to keep it up.
Right.
And movie theaters have gotten... Like, since you and me went to the movie theaters when we were kids, there were so many seats in there.
Right.
A lot of people could go watch a movie.
Mm-hmm.
The way that things are now in most theaters, now they're like big luxury fucking recliners that probably take the spot of like 3 fucking people for one person.
Mm-hmm. Especially D-Box. Those shits are massive.
Yeah. So... It went from being able to hold a couple hundred to like maybe not even 100,
Mm-hmm.
So you're allowing less people to be able to physically fit in there to watch your fucking movie.
Right.
And then also people know that the movie will fucking be in streaming probably pretty soon. Unless it's directly stated by like Christopher Nolan himself, like this shit is going to be in the movie for a really long time.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see it in streaming for a long time. So fucking get out there and watch it.
It took a while. It took a fucking while.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it did. And that's how it used to be, man. We used to go to the movie theaters and it seemed like a fucking lifetime to go by. And then one day you'd see
it's out. Hey, it's out.
Fucking Gladiator, finally. I've been waiting. You know how long I've been waiting to see
Titanic.
Oh, fuck.
Double VHS.
Don't get me started on Titanic, dude. I remember when we bought that movie, there was a line across the mall at Suncoast.
Dude, incredible, dude. That's awesome.
Do you remember that?
I mildly do, dude.
It was like Suncoast was
It was.
They made a fucking killing.
It really was, man.
But it was niche back then. It's niche now. It was niche back then. I guess it was more people would buy movies. But to go buy it at Suncoast, you're paying fucking top-ass dollars, right?
Yes.
You're paying over $20 for some shit. And then I was a nerd since then. I'd find like some special edition cool
Dude, you
shit.
were fucking nerded out, bro. You would buy the magazine with the fucking, like, the release dates and the little reviews, little shit.
Yeah.
You were nerding, dude. What the fuck,
You were right there with me.
I know, but I'm like, look at this dude. He has a problem. What's going on?
I know,
here?
dude. I do a podcast.
I'll support him.
Thank you.
I've been there.
You've been supporting me.
Now let's go to Sam Goody.
So this is really
and play PlayStation 2 for a bit. You know?
I'm feeling very blindsided, very attacked. My whole childhood is being questioned.
No, it's been a process, and just like this fucking movie, for it to come out when it comes out, even after the height of all of the like what movies should be right now.
Yeah.
If you're saying it's unsuccessful, I firmly believe it, bro. Because even yesterday, we saw the movie yesterday. No, the night before, in Human Nature. Obviously, it's that type of a movie of a niche type fucking...
in Human Nature?
I believe. Not in Violent Nature, I believe.
In a Violent
Nature. There was like 4 people there in a small auditorium. You know what I'm saying?
That checks out a little bit more because it is not... This isn't even rated.
Right.
It's not having a very wide release. This is all like... fucking indie hype or whatever, like when they put Terrifier 2,
right?
It's not gonna make a lot of money, but the fact that they even put it out is just like kudos. Thank you, right? For being able to put something like that out in the movie theater, and I have the choice to go see it. I saw Terrifier 2, and I'm gonna go watch it in a Violent Nature,
right? Because
it just seems like some mean spirited. I mean, it essentially looks like a big Jason ripoff. But I'm okay with that because I haven't had a Jason movie in a while, and I need to see somebody take some people out with machetes.
You know what? And that was my whole thing too, where I'm like, it's been a while since the superhuman, animalistic killer does some damage to some teens that want to have sex and drink.
Horny, drunk teens
out by the lake.
They shouldn't have been out there.
No,
they shouldn't have been out there.
No.
Your wiener's in danger. 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb for A Violent Nature. We got an respectable 82% from the critics. I don't know who's critiquing. And 43% audience score. I mean, it like the trailers do make it look very crude. Like it's gonna be like a natured film, and life will be tossed around.
Absolutely. And you know what's funny about that too is my stepdaughter Haley. She went to go see it with her brother before we did.
What?
And she was just like, "Hey, I'm gonna go with my aunt and uncle. We're gonna go watch this movie. Is it okay?" I'm like, you know what? I've wanted to watch it. And she it's funny because she's scared of shit, but she'll still watch it. Like she enjoys watching these movies. And she's like, the first comments that she makes is like, "Oh my God, the acting is terrible." I'm like, well,
is the acting terrible?
It's what it's supposed to be, but yes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like if you watch the old movies to Jason or anything, the acting isn't good.
Some of it's pretty good.
Some, okay. Some one-liners, some hitters.
Yeah, some famous people. You had Lawrence Fishburne was in one of those movies. There's some quality.
No, not in this. Okay, there's no
good acting.
No good acting, but I feel like it's that.
So is this like a fucking...
It's on purpose. I feel like it's on purpose for that very reason.
So it is like a more well done version of that.
It's pretty cool because you get a how do you say? I don't even know it's not a, I guess, third person, but you get like a above the shoulder perspective. You almost POV of what a crazed killer would see and do.
I saw that. Yeah, I read about that. That it's from the serial killer's point of view.
100%. Which is...
So you're not getting the backstory of the people.
Their journey. They stop at the gas station and kind of
69ing.
Yeah, you don't get any of that. You just get a deranged killer's perspective, and
he's just walking around from place to place killing people
in the woods, and and it's pretty fucking scary because all the shit. There's this really dope scene where one of the characters is running through the woods, obviously trying to escape. And the sounds that are heightened are the sounds of the woods, right? Just animals going off and fucking the night and the crickets and the frogs and the this and the that, and it just they're doing it on purpose. They're scaling the volume up as this person is terrified to amplify like what the feeling might be. So it does this really good job of giving you both perspectives in like the height of what's going on. But again, the movie, I think, is purposefully made to kind of throw you off, because I think there's a level, you know me, bro, I'll watch some shit, you know, I've seen the cartel videos and all this type of stuff.
You're sick.
But I think that in movies or something that is widely spread like that, they have to put it in slasher form, because then it becomes too fucking real. Even though going to the woods and camping is pretty fucking real and you can be killed by a fucking bear or some crazy shit.
It's true.
But the possibility of a deranged motherfucker trying to do some pretty horrific shit is even more frightening, right?
And what are is it like straight Jason? Is it Jason kills?
No, they're like Mortal Kombat kills.
What do you mean? Like he punches somebody's head off or something?
Not like that. Well, I mean, there is something like that, but it's not. It's not. Essentially, the one kill I'll tell you is he drops a rock on someone's face and it just, and it's like a massive fucking rock boulder. You know what I mean? And it looks cool. Some of them don't give you that, because we're also spoiled with newer technology, like with those Mortal Kombat games. You get some really cool CG to show you some cool shit. This one tries to do it in a practical sense, and it's kind of like...
But that's good. I want it to be practical.
It's cool, but it's to the point where it's not like... It's like, you know, it's a mannequin. You know, it's, you know, dummy or some shit like that.
You want to see real mutilation?
I want to question, you know, I want to have that doubt, you know what I'm saying? No, but you'll see what I mean when you watch it, and we'll talk about it then. But, you know, it hits a couple levels. There is some crazy shit. You're just like, oh my God. But it has to be supernatural. Again, it goes back to that thing of like, if there was just some guy doing this shit, and first of all, there are motherfuckers who do some heinous shit out there. This one does a really light job of saying like, oh, well, it's just this crazy situation and terrible acting to make it not as, you know.
Yeah, but I guess whatever. That's
what these movies are. Yeah. It's honoring and still saluting the genre by
bit of a tip of the cap.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's cool. But yeah, I'm probably gonna go watch it.
Check it out.
I was gonna go watch it, but I went to go see Furiosa a second time. But we'll get to Furiosa. So another thing that we both watched actually was Civil War, buddy.
Oh yeah. And we need to do like a whole episode on that.
Yeah, I really loved this movie. Alex Garland directed it, he recently directed Men, which we both have opinions on. I think that movie is really good, but other people think it's very terrible, so I don't know.
I liked it.
That movie, watching it in the movie theater was a great experience. The movie looks so fucking beautiful. Mm-hmm. It makes nature look so fucking, like, the colors is so great, and watching that in a movie theater was fantastic. Obviously he's directed Ex Machina, which is like, fuck, as close to a perfect film. That was his first movie, and to nail it that fucking hard on your first go.
Bro, my girl hadn't seen that movie, and after fucking Men, and even after this last one, we sat down and watched it, and I was like, God damn it, this is good. This is fucking great.
It's great.
It's pretty as fuck as well. It's super well done.
Yeah, that movie's fantastic all around. And the experience you get from watching Ex Machina that first time, when you don't know like where it's going,
right?
It's like, it's up there as to like, damn, like that was one of the coolest like stories or whatever I've ever seen. That was the shit. Mm-hmm. And then following that with Annihilation, which I also fucking
we watched that
really
too.
loved.
It was fucking awesome.
Natalie Portman out there, fucking, she was so guilty. She felt so guilty for cheating on her husband. She was like, fuck it.
That's it.
I'll go into an alien fucking dome.
Yeah, I deserve this.
Craziness.
It's a good movie.
Great movie. I love that movie. Mm-hmm. And then, so now, obviously, since watching those two movies, those are his first two movies. Obviously, I'm going to watch anything this guy does. Right. Fuck it. Men, right. That looked weird. I went to go see it.
Loved it. I loved it. It was a great movie.
Yeah. And then I didn't even know, like, I didn't hear about this movie. I didn't read about it. All of a sudden, I see a trailer to it. I see he's directing it. And the premise of this movie is like, holy crap. Like, that's already scary. Right. In the time that we are living, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it doesn't seem super far-fetched.
No,
right?
Not at all.
Like, maybe not yet, but give us 10, 15 years, we might
5, bro. 5, yeah, 5 to 10. You're right. And we'll see what happens at this election. It's coming up.
Yeah.
Dude, Mexico just did some crazy shit, bro. I don't know if you've seen that or give a fuck about that. You haven't seen, like, your dad watching anything?
Or soccer.
But the election thing, nothing?
No.
Dude, crazy shit. Fucking Jewish woman is elected president for Mexico. And in the campaign going up to that, 37 candidates get murdered. And this bitch wins by a landslide. It's pretty incredible.
Wow. Well, that's scary.
It is scary.
Anyways, Civil War is scary. Let's see. Who stars in Civil War? Your fucking boy does.
Yes, he does.
You were excited.
Yes, I was.
So Kirsten Dunst.
Of course.
She's been around for a while. Since Bring It On, of course.
Yeah.
Wagner Moura?
That's
your boy?
That's the dude.
His name is Wagner?
Uh-huh. Pablo Escobar, you mean?
Yeah. And Kaylee Spaney? She plays the girl, Jessie. And we get, like, for 2 seconds, Nick Offerman is the president. Well, he gets a big speech in the beginning.
Yeah.
He starts the movie, kicks the movie off.
Yeah.
And in this shit, the movie starts with the president basically saying, like, you know what? Like, we're gonna strike California and Texas. we're gonna win and stuff. And, like, so you see that's how it's starting and stuff. And it's a trippy thing, you know, to think about something like that. And that's as far as you, that's as much as you get really of the backstory. You know that the president has attacked California and Texas, who have joined forces to try to take down, who is now maybe becoming some kind of like a dictator president or something. I don't know. They never explain it.
Right.
Which is, I think, the genius of this movie is that they never really explain what's happening. You get that.
Right.
And now you're just hanging around with these people that are in the middle of it. And they never really explain exactly what's happening. You just know that shit fucking popped off.
Right.
And when I texted you about it, you texted me back something pretty interesting. You were like, "Oh, that was The Last of Us," which it was. Like, kind of.
Yeah.
The character of Jessie, she looks so much like
she would have crushed it, man. Yeah. She would have been great. Not to shit on the homegirl, but to shit on her. This chick completely upstaged her in everything. Her whole she was her.
Yeah, well, she looks like her. She's a good actor. Yeah. I still like what the other actress did. This chick looks more like Ellie for sure.
Right.
And you're saying that fucking Escobar would have made a better Joel,
dude, 100%. Well, because, like, don't get me wrong, man. I love Pedro Pascal. You know, he's been fucking crushing. I don't know why you refuse to watch Narcos, but fucking watch Narcos and you'll understand why.
Maybe I'll give it a go.
You know, go hard. And even with the Pablo Escobar version of that fucking show, and you see him here, and you know him to have this accent and be this, you know, quirky, give a fuck type guy, and he plays that. I don't know that he could have delivered because fucking in The Last of Us, homeboy's pretty American, right? Pretty fucking American. Not to say
Joel would have had to have been a little,
you know what I mean?
A little more.
But this character, I'm just saying, it was The Last of Us in the sense of not only this girl, but like what the possibility of like a uprising between states would be, right? Because in Last of Us 2, you're traveling to different states and all that type of shit, right? Eventually you end up in Santa Barbara, California, and it's a certain different all that type of shit, right? But I just feel like there was way more dynamic, and not to say with him and her in the Civil War movie, but it just seemed more realistic opposed to Pedro Pascal essentially barely even talking in The Last of Us. You know,
True.
he was more of, dude, what the fuck? Where you carry the whole game as this fucking guy, and getting into part 2, you're like, what? Why?
No spoilers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no. I respect it, but I just feel like in this movie, the thing about this shit is that this shit happens all over the world, but in America. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In fucking Africa, there's always some real shit going down. In the Middle East, look at what's happening right now.
Yeah.
You know, that shit happens periodically. And in this country, we don't get any of that. And, you know, not in a really long fucking time since what, like Civil War? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And
Captain America. Of course.
You're right. About when, movies, goddammit.
When Captain America went against Iron Man, you're talking.
Civil.
Of course, the state.
But I definitely see like that's a possibility. If this government says, hey, you know what, California is getting too fucking crazy, or Texas is now too fucking liberal, take them out. You know, we're gonna drop a bomb. You know, shit like that. And is it possible? 100% it is. And will people pick sides? A fucking million%. Like, are you kidding me?
But that's what I really like about this movie, that you don't even know. They don't even show sides.
Right.
They don't tell you what the sides are about.
Yeah, just like some blind shit.
There's a part of the movie, I think it's a sniper part, where they're driving around and there's a sniper. So they get out of the car and there's some other soldiers that are just like waiting there. And his name is actually Joel in the movie. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So Joel, what was he doing?
Come on. They know what they're doing.
What was he doing?
Bro, they're on top of the
fucking
game.
Garland. Anyway, so fucking Joel.
He's like, I played The Last of Us. I need to make this movie.
That was a good game. Well, anyway, so Joel, he goes up to the soldiers, and the soldiers are like hiding behind like some billboards, and there's somebody in like a building kind of like across a road or something like a
right.
And so there's a sniper up there, and then so he goes up to him and he's just like who's shooting or whatever, and he's just like, what do you mean who's shooting? They're like, what side is he on? And they're like, dude, they're on. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter, dude. Right. This guy's shooting at us. We're gonna fucking die.
Right.
Like,
we need to shoot him.
Yeah. I just really dug that about the movie. That it was like kind of clear, like who cares who's doing it or what? Like this is what's fucking happening. Well, there's no fucking sides, dude.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just a great commentary on our world right now, where you know they go to like a certain town and everything's just completely normal, and people are just like, oh well, we choose to ignore
right
what's happening. We're good here, you know. So we just don't think about it.
Which is super signaling. I mean, that's essentially our fucking country, right? We choose to ignore the fucking atrocities that are happening around the world. Yet we are heavily armed, ready to go. It's that scene. It's literally that scene, right? Because the interaction is lively. You know, you come out of, again, these games are successful, The Last of Us and in this movies, because it's a miserable fucking journey. Every single time you're passing this, you're advancing in this game, it gets more and more miserable. This movie is no different, but then again, yeah, you reach this breath of fresh air, but even that air is protected and it's not what it seems. And it's super signaling to like like how you said, the status of our country. Again, we ignore all that shit, and yet we're still ready to go. Right? There's people on the roof. They have their snipers. They have their protection. Yeah. It's essentially that shit. You know?
Yeah, it's a great war movie. Like I like how they do kind of give you those like war moments, like kind of like from a war movie. The first scene where they're photographing like these soldiers going at it.
Right.
And then, you know, tense moment. This dude's like caught like in this fucking stone beam and he's taking a bunch of fire. They're trying to get him out of there. And then I think he dies. The guy's trying to hide. He gets shot and dies. But but then the other guys kill everybody else.
Right.
And after this big old moment of tension, they're just like shooting the shit and just like talking and kind of celebrating, taking pictures and stuff. And another great point. I know it's kind of like on the nose and preachy, but I feel like it's done so well. Like all this happens, they have like a fucking classic rock song playing. Can't remember what it is, but it's just like, okay, this is the mood now.
Right.
Some crazy shit just went down, but now it's all good. You're seeing Joel talk to these soldiers and they're like laughing and smoking a cigarette or something and making jokes. And in the back, you see they're taking prisoners and shit.
Right.
But you're focusing on this guy and the casualness of the moment. And you're seeing it all from Jesse's perspective, who's a young kid photographer getting into photographing the Civil War. She's following Kirsten Dunst, who's like a legend in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're seeing it all from her perspective. And then they just take these guys in the back, they put them on their knees, and they just fucking execute them all.
Right.
And you see that it's brilliantly captured when Joel's talking to these soldiers, and he kind of gets jolted because he wasn't ready, right? He wasn't paying attention. He's like, holy shit, what happened? And then he looks, and then he goes right back to his conversation.
Right.
Which is like another thing where it's just like, yeah, that's like what it is like. You'll be in the news. You scrolling through your phone while you're taking your shit. You read about some horrible thing that just happened. You're like, holy shit. Oh, fuck. Like, Colin Farrell's going to be in the new the Penguin?
Oh, my God. Well, okay.
There's good and bad news, I guess.
Shocking news.
Colin Farrell.
Holy hell. Hey, you guys see this?
Yeah, so I really like little moments like that. And then, not to spoil the movie or anything, but kind of spoilers. But at the end of the movie, you are firsthand watching a fucking takedown of the White House, like tactically.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, I can't believe I'm watching.
Yeah. That was pretty cool, dude.
I can't believe they allowed this to happen.
Right.
And that they're showing what seems like U.S. military going through every single fucking room to fucking
kill,
not
execute,
but murder the president of the United States. I just couldn't believe it. And then it happens, and again, like, I feel like the movie ends powerfully because the whole thing is just like all they want is to just get a statement from the president. That's the whole goal of this shit.
Yeah, because you're following the press, right? Yeah, you're following the press, not a side. While the sides are colliding, right? They're just there to cover it. Essentially, it's like the shit we see all the time. Like when fucking Baghdad first took off and all the reporters are getting fucking killed and all this type of shit. They're out there to report the situation. Whether, of course, it's coming from a specific fucking side. It doesn't matter at that point. Again, those people died in the middle of war. Is kind of what you're getting here. And it, like how you say, it doesn't matter the fucking side. And in that particular scene that you're talking about too, I like the scene where they're shooting at the guy and then they fire back and then they clear the building. Mm-hmm. I think that was like maybe a nod to Kubrick from Full Metal Jacket, where they laid heavy suppression fire to try to get a guy through there to go into the building. And then similar to them, the one person that was alive or that was wounded, they go and they have to fucking... I think that was a nod to him, but you see that since then I hadn't seen some shit like that. And then when you see it, you hear the guy breathing and all this fucked up shit to it,
Yeah.
And it adds to that. So yeah, you're shooken up from that into that of killing. And from the preview too, the one thing that I liked, and maybe it's because of the character. I don't know that guy's name, Bootleg or True Value, fucking Matt Damon. What's his name?
No. Ugly Damon.
Yeah, first.
He's married to Kirsten Dunst.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Savage.
He's not even credited in this movie.
That guy in the trailer, the famous thing there, and I think that obviously it was an intention, but when you get to his scene, he has that one question where he's like, well, what kind of American are you? Mm-hmm. Asking them, like, essentially, what do you stand for? Because we don't give a fuck over here. I mean, and it's even worse than picking a side, essentially, right? Because they just don't give a fuck. And if they don't align with their, with how they carry themselves. And at that point, I don't even think it matters even to them, right? Because in that particular scene, you're seeing that they're not killing soldiers, they're killing civilians.
Yeah.
Essentially anyone that's crossing their road or their path.
Yeah, there's just like fucking in a violent nature
Yeah, some sick shit. Yeah, some sick shit. But yeah, that movie.
That's another thing. Like, it's just like, okay, speaking on like, if it's a war and it was happening here, shit like this would be happening here, because shit like this just fucking happens in other fucking countries, and this is what it would be like if it was happening here,
right?
By Americans, you know, we're the ones doing horrible shit.
Heavily armed Americans. Some Americans are really strapped up.
I watched this. I wanted so bad to go watch this in IMAX. I wasn't able to because it wasn't playing in IMAX for very long. So I was forced to watch it in XD, which still solid, big ass screen, good sound system. And I went on a Monday. There was like fucking 4 other people there. It was perfect.
Nice.
Basically had that giant screen to myself.
Nice.
But I don't know where you watched it or what, but the way that the firepower in a movie theater, like they make the fucking
super loud, like really
every time they shoot,
felt
it scares the fuck. It's like a jump scare almost. It's supposed to it does such a good job of making it seem like obviously it's gonna be nothing like being there, but it gives you that jolt, like holy shit, like that's what a fucking bullet would sound like, or
when
like,
some shit like the machine gun shit, like. Again, the only time I've done that is in Vegas, and it was an AK. Put that shit on full auto, and it just rips. Right, you have your ear protection, but not only just on force and on sound. It's just like, oh fuck, and that's an old weapon, right? There's some new heavy artillery, you know, handheld heavy artillery that could fucking do some damage. So that in that same thing. I bought a round of the 50 cal. I'm like, I need to feel what a 50 caliber weapon feels like. So you shoot that round, and dude, that thing just creates a fucking sonic boom around you, just blows shit up from the ground, and it's just like
Guile? Is sonic boom?
It's actually like, whoa. I think it is. And it's like that, and I mean, that movie did do that. It puts that little fear. Because in particular with the 50 cal, they announce, hey, 50 cal going off so that people can stop shooting. And you get this big ass round so people don't get scared of essentially like a little explosion. And it'll scare you, even if you're pulling the fucking trigger. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So some pretty gnarly stuff.
Yeah. No, I really liked it, and I really like how it ends. Like, no major spoilers, but it gets to the end, and literally once the task is completed, the movie fucking ends. And I'm just like I said, it was just shocking to see it end that way. It literally ends with fucking straight up execution of the president, who's begging not to be killed. It's just like, dude, take me in. It's like, nope, we're not playing that fucking.
No.
It's like RoboCop. I'm not going to arrest you, you know? I think that's where they go.
That was the homage. That's just like, you know what? We're going back to RoboCop.
Think of one man, Alex Murphy, who died.
Yeah.
Was murdered. Oh, yeah. And at the end of the day, again, I don't know what it's speaking on, and like, I don't know. To me, it was very powerful. I could see how some people think it's like preachy and like just too on the nose.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
But I just thought it was great because at the end of the day, they get there, they're about to kill him. He's like, wait, give me a second. Spoilers. And he's like, let me get a fucking
a shot before you do it.
No, a statement. It's like, let me get the statement first.
Right.
And then he's just like, what do you got to say? And he's just like, don't let him kill me. And he's like, all right. I got the statement.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't matter now. Go ahead.
Yeah, this
Boom.
is in the history books. This is what's it's like, again, when they capture these big warlords or all this type of shit, these people in control, I assume is obviously some are way worse than that, and some have been broadcasted. That was tame. I was expecting some real shit. To be honest.
At the end of the day, it's still a pretty mainstream movie.
True.
It was an A24 film, the most expensive A24 film ever made, I believe. Let's get the old Bono guess on the budget to this film.
Okay. I would say Fuck. Well, now you got me tripping off Fall Guy.
Well, don't think about Fall Guy.
Okay, so
how much do you think this movie costs?
40.
Okay.
40 mil.
It's close. It's close. 50.
50, okay.
Respectable.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, well.
Not too crazy.
Homeboy needs to get paid, okay? Mm-hmm. Netflix paid him.
This movie had about the same opening as the Fall Guy, 25.5 million. Has made. Actually, guess. Give it a guess.
I would say $157 million. Damn,
not quite.
No,
114.
Okay, that's still good.
But it didn't cost. How much was the Fall Guy?
130.
130. Yeah, it cost 50. Made 114. That looks a lot better.
That's great.
Than 130 and made 120 or some shit. You know, like.
And this movie, just like all his other films, is one of those where it's going to be a word of mouth type thing. It's going to be one of those that you seek for. One of my buddies who's a Marine, Missouri raised, Marine, moved Californian techie, moved to Texas currently, sent me a fucking message. He's like, bro, that was the grittiest, most, I forget his words, but this dude, he operates on a different level, right? You kind of see the mindset where he comes from being from Missouri as a Marine, come over here, works for these tech companies, and he's still a Marine, and then doesn't do that, and then goes and lives in Texas now and is that dude. And, you know, to take what he's saying, he's just kind of like, he's like, fuck, I felt a certain way about this fucking movie. Like, It really shook up some shit. Being that not only did he leave the Bay Area here, but then goes to Texas where it's way more, you know, whatever it is. And being that he's still from, you know, with that California mentality or the ability to kind of be like, oh, more laxed or whatever, instead of being like preachy American patriot type shit, you know, he's not that. But it's like at the same time, you see that if shit was to go down, if shit was to be real like that, like those instincts, those training, all that shit will kick in immediately.
Right.
And I think that's what that movie set out to do. And I think it did it really well.
Yeah, great stuff. Alex Garland did say that this is going to be his last movie, which I think is sad. That's a bummer. I don't like to hear that. I hope that that's not the case.
Right.
But he did, well, you know, he wrote the 28 Days Later, right? The first one?
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying that he wants to stop directing, basically wants to go back to writing. So he's writing the 28 Years Later sequel that Danny Boyle's going to direct, who directed the first 28 Days Later. Killian is producing, and they're saying he's probably going to be in it. But
at least a little cameo. Just give me a cameo. Or like a flashback, you know, a cool flashback.
Don't mess it up.
They're not going to fuck it up.
If you're going to bring that character back, don't bring him back just to throw him away.
Yeah. That's okay.
Like, if you're going to bring him back, do it properly. Yeah. Make it right. Don't fucking
Last of
drown.
Us 2.
If you drown him in a fucking puddle.
No, Last of Us 2 style. Do it Last of Us 2 style.
So he's saying he's going to go back to writing. He's doing that movie, right? That's his next project. But, you know, like, why isn't he directing it? I would love to see him direct a 28 Years Later movie with my boy fucking Killian in there.
And maybe that's part to what you're saying. Don't fuck it up. Well, he's like, well, I'm going to make sure it's good. I'll give it the thing there.
I hope so. But it does make me sad that he directed 4 movies. He directed a TV show, a miniseries, which I haven't watched. But
what's that?
It's called Devs.
Devs?
Yeah, it came out in 2020. It was 8 episodes. See, a computer engineer investigates the secretive development division in her company, which she believes is behind the disappearance of her boyfriend.
Whoa. It's a love story.
Wait, isn't it all?
Jeez, dude, okay.
Oh, Nick Offerman is in it. Oh, and Ellie's in it.
Oh. Well, see? That's what you get. You get some good stuff there.
I had to give that one a go, huh?
I'm okay with that.
But yeah, bummer. I really hope that he does, like, maybe he takes a few years off, goes right 28 years later. We'll see how that turns out, and hopefully fucking he keeps going, man, because I think he's one of the most interesting directors right now, and someone who I actively seek out. If he's got a new movie out, I'm gonna watch it.
Right.
You know?
Probably one of the single most important individuals to the feminist party.
Exactly.
You know, I don't see why they wouldn't support him and or, you know, advocate for him.
We're big feminists here at the Movie Power.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're all with that whole woman bullshit.
All that woman stuff.
All that woman crap. All your craziness.
We support Alex Garland.
We support her bitches around. Anyways, so another thing I watched, which you apparently didn't watch, was the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
No,
buddy.
I didn't watch that.
So we were kind of starting to talk about that before the podcast, and I told you to stop. But you don't like those movies, or what?
I don't mind them. It's just I don't want to see a fucking CGI, a complete CGI movie. You know, even though I know it's not all CGI. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. I didn't mind it, you know, Franco's and the San Francisco here and everything. That was cool, sure, but...
Did you watch all 3 of the other movies?
I just watched the first 2, and the second one, I think I was pretty fucked up that I don't remember what it was.
So I rewatched them all before going to see it, to gear up. Right? Okay. I do like these movies. Okay. So I was like, I haven't seen them in a long time. So I was like, let me fucking are they as good as I remember, or is this one of those things that's gonna...
I have been watching that dude, the big fucking guy, the big buff guy. I don't know his fucking name. Smoking Aces guy, right?
Kevin Durant.
That guy. And he's like blowing up on TikTok right now because he does like this really good body movement thing. He's been doing a bunch of shows. He's been doing kind of promoting the fucking movie, and he does
Abigail too.
Okay, yeah, that guy, right?
Yeah,
he's in that. He's doing like the whole body movement, the walking and interacting,
the motion capture.
Yeah, sure,
the body movement.
Yeah, I mean, it's different too because he's first of all he's a massive fucking guy, and then you see him move this certain way. It's pretty weird, but
anyway, so going back, I watched all 3 of these films. I watched the first one. The first one affected me a lot more now than probably it did when I watched it, and I was more emotionless or something, you know? Like, things affect me more. And that movie...
You cried during that? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I didn't cry.
Like, what do you say?
I felt, like, really bad for, like, Caesar in it, you know?
Wow.
Like, the whole animal, like, the whole thing, like I started to feel bad for... Anyways, the movie... Let me get to it. So the movie's really good.
Uh-huh.
But I'll tell you what kind of brings the quality down of it is straight up James Franco.
Really?
He's a terrible fucking actor.
That's great.
Like, I don't know. The only things he's ever really been good in that I like are like when he's being over the top funny, you know?
Right.
Like, he's good at that. But if you're trying to play like a fucking scientist, you're not going to do a good job. Wow. And he doesn't. And that's the only thing about the movie that I'm kind of like, this brings it down from like a fucking 8.5 to like a 7.5 because fucking Franco's over here.
Well, you gotta think Franco too, right? During the time, what was he doing? How was he feeling? You know?
I was feeling great.
Yeah, you gotta respect the man and his journey. You know, so I don't blame him.
Anyway, from what I remember, but I really like that movie, and it's a great origin of how, like, well, that's the thing that you don't believe. Fucking Franco fucking curing Alzheimer's over here. Mm-hmm. And they're essentially doing a Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, okay. You know? Right.
We can fucking cure Alzheimer's with shark brain.
Yes.
It's essentially the same thing.
We need to do a Deep Blue Sea. I don't know how we haven't done that, bro.
It's because I fear the ocean. That's why.
And I want to relive that.
Yeah, so I really like that movie. I really like how they rise, because, you know, he turns into this smart ape because of this drug. So he starts to get smarter and starts to realize, hey, dude, like, I'm a second class citizen. This guy treats me like a person, like we're equals, but out in the world, I'm treated
as an animal.
Yeah,
separate
and locked up and started to be treated like an animal. And then you start to think of, like, you know, like dogs in shelters or the way animals get treated in the world. And that's where I started to be like, oh, like emotional for, like, the way animals get treated.
Wow, that's soft as dude.
That's how the movie hit me this time, bro.
Wow.
And then I understood why the apes,
why they rose to power.
And I actually started getting a little scared. I was like, will they rise?
No.
And then it has that great scene in the Golden Gate Bridge, which is just that's worst case scenario. Being on the Golden Gate Bridge to me is already fucking scary. I hate driving.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't mind it.
When I was a child, it was the shit, but now I'm like going through it like, oh my God. Especially after you've seen that Final Destination movie with the bridge collapsing. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
It don't make you not want to go across the bridge.
I've walked the length of that fucking thing, and I mean, it doesn't
scary.
It's pretty cool. Honestly.
I mean, when you're in the fucking middle of it, and you're just like,
dude,
if this shit falls here, it's a fucking wrap.
They just re-fenced it. They put an ugly ass chain link fence, like a 10-foot tall chain link. It looks gross, but motherfuckers are killing themselves. So
there's cameras there, right? Mm-hmm. Like. I don't know how many people just...
There's 103, I think, per year.
Yeah, precisely.
Something like that.
I think it's precisely 100. Exactly, actually. I don't think.
Yeah,
I know.
I've counted. I've watched the live feed.
Fucking gruesome. And then, so I watched that one. I was like, it's pretty good. Second one is, out of the three, I think actually rewatching the second one is like, kind of a masterpiece, dude.
Okay.
It's really
I might have I don't remember part 2 of that.
And it's just got like when the apes and the humans go at it, and there's just a great fucking image in that movie of a fucking ape with 2 machine guns on a horse jumping through fire, and I was just like, that might be the coolest fucking shot ever. Like, I don't know. And these apes and these human beings going at it. You got Gary Oldman in there. It was fucking great. I really liked it. And then the third one is just a fucking bummer. All these movies are a bummer.
So you're like an ape sympathizer, huh? Is that what you're telling me?
No,
so well, we have a traitor.
That's what's so conflicting about the movies, because the movies do make you basically be on the ape side. But I'm always team human, right? So I'm always like, I
don't know.
As much as Caesar's a good guy, like I want the humans to win, but they don't. And that's how these movies end. Every single one of them, like there's a glimmer of hope for the
We no longer spank the monkey.
Yeah. There's a glimmer of hope for the humans, and by the end it's just like, nope, you're fucked. And every single movie is like that. They get worse and worse. Right. And so the third one is a big bummer, and whatever. Caesar is triumphant, and basically humans are they're just slowly evaporating and turning into savages. They can't talk anymore. Like, heading into that. So this movie takes place generations after Caesar has died. Caesar's like, no one who knew Caesar when he was alive is alive anymore. Right. He's just a figure,
right?
And that's what I really liked about this movie, that it was like the different ways that people interpreted what he
did. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And some people that are using that shit to like control people and basically enslave people into doing things and shit, and other people that are you know what it reminded me of? It was a fucking PG-13 Apocalypto. Without the violence, without the crude violence, the gore. It's about a fucking tribe or whatever of apes that are like fucking raising eagles. So they got a good thing going on. They got a good eagle business. And then they get taken, so then they get fucking raided by these other apes that have some technology. They have like electric fucking tasers and shit. So they just come and take over their shit, burn their fucking village down, enslave all of them. And then the main character basically leave them for dead. They think they kill him. They kill his dad in front of him. So now it becomes like kind of an apocalypto thing, right? Like they take his family, they take everybody. Right. Now he's alone. He's gonna try to, they have his mom and his sister, and he's gonna try to get them back, right? So it's like it's almost the exact same story, just with apes and no less decapitations.
Mel's gonna sue someone. That's what you're telling me.
No one's worried about Mel's opinion except for you, dude. Wait, how does Mel feel?
Did he watch it?
What the fuck? So I really liked it. And honestly, you're saying you don't want to watch a CG movie?
I mean, yeah, basically.
But the fucking apes look other fucking level. If they looked, in parts 2 and 3 of the last trilogy, they were already looking really good.
Right.
And this shit, there's a scene towards the end of the movie, some minor spoilers, but they're in a factory, like T2 style. Ooh. And it's flooding.
James Cameron's gonna sue someone.
And it's flooding, so they're like trying to fucking climb through pipes and shit while this place is flooding and stuff. I felt like from what these movies came from, when like the late 60s, when the first Planet of the Apes movie came out, when it's just people in suits, clearly just people in suits.
Right.
To seeing this crazy fucking action sequence of these apes climbing through a flooding fucking factory, I was like, just like, fuck. If the people that made those movies knew that one day it would be this, like, they would tell you to go fuck your mom.
Right.
And to think that the franchise went from there to there, like there was a moment in the movie theater where I was like, damn, like this is so visually impressive. Like this movie looks so fucking good. I mean, it is to be seen in a movie theater. I watched it in XD and it looked fucking fantastic. And the movie itself is not like over here like, oh, like this is a fucking fantastic movie. I personally really liked it. I'm invested in these films. But then how great it looks. It's just a fucking visual, like fucking CG achievement.
It's one of those things. It's kind of like Avatar, part 2. Fuck.
Fucking hell.
I'm just saying. The motion capture is there because they're doing it in real time, right? Obviously, the shit that is in like a flying fucking whale or whatever the fuck that shit was.
Flying whale.
Whatever the fuck they were doing with these movies and are continue to doing. Like, I get it. You're achieving greatness on a different scale, right? And I mean, it's cool, but even with Avatar or this one, I'm sure I'll eventually watch it. But it's just one of those things that really like takes me out of a movie. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, well, fuck. Okay.
Right. Well, this is like a harder sell because all 3 other movies had like a couple of really famous human characters in it that were kind of driving the human element of it. This movie's all apes, and there's a woman. There's like 2 humans that are introduced like halfway into the movie and stuff, and they become kind of an integral part of the plot.
Right.
But at least like the first half of this movie is just, you're just in the Planet of the Apes, there's no fucking humans. And the humans, when they first run into humans, it's really cool. It's like a Jurassic Park or something. They see like a herd of them like drinking water in the river, like of their deer or something, and it's just like, whoa.
Right.
That's pretty cool. And then the apes come and they like fucking scatter like fucking flamingos and shit, It's pretty tight. I really liked it. It's not like, compared to some of the other movies in the series, like part 2 specifically, it's not up to that level. But I thought it was like pretty solid continuation of those movies that were perfectly wrapped up. You didn't have to keep going. But since you kept going, this is a pretty fucking good entry, when I would expect for, especially the director of those movies is no longer involved, somebody else doing it. That, the quality wouldn't be that good, but I thought it was really fucking solid, and I'm excited for more of these movies. So hopefully they keep doing it, man. Like I really like what they're doing with them. They're so grim. They're so fucking grim, dude. They're just like, no, like we're fucked. We're all fucked. No worries. There's Planet of the Apes now. That's it.
No.
Really good. But yeah.
What else? Let's see. What else has come out since? Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Too bad. And I watched Furiosa twice already.
Haven't seen that.
Once in IMAX, and then I went and did it again in XD while it was still playing there. Again, this movie only made like $33 million and costs like $160 million
Damn.
to make. Well, you've seen Fury Road, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched it recently? How many times have you watched it?
I saw that movie twice. The one time, I think it was with you.
I think we went to go see it in the movie theater.
And then another time at home with my dad.
You need to pop that on again with fresh eyes.
Okay.
With fucking surround sound on your TV. So throughout the years, I've been watching it more and more, and every time I watch it, I'm just like, it's just like it's better and better for me, and I'm just like, fuck. And some of the last times I watched it, like it straight up gave me the chills like 2-3 times. So, and I remember watching it in the movie theater and thinking it was awesome, but not being like as into movies as I am now. So I was like, I would love to watch that movie now, like if they re-released that shit in IMAX or something,
right?
It would be so fucking awesome. But I got the next best thing, which is a prequel to that movie. It's not as good as Fury Road. Like honestly, the more I watch Fury Road, it's like top 3 greatest action movies ever fucking made. Like just achievements in cinema. Just fucking. There is shit you watch that movie now, and you're like, there's no fucking way people didn't die making this. You just see them flying off of cars and rolling, and just like, that looks real. That didn't look CG at all. That dude just fell off that car and fucking rolled.
Right.
Like hard, And like, so you watch that shit and it's just like, fuck. And so this isn't quite to that level. And Fury Road, what I love about Fury Road is that it explains nothing to you. You get in this movie and it's just a chase, and you kind like, even though it explains nothing to you, you kind of understand. Like, okay, they're in a wasteland. These are the bad guys. They all got tumors and like they're dying. They're fighting for water. She stole gas and these chicks from him. Right. The breeders, they call them. He's trying. One of them has his baby. He's trying to make a good baby. Like, you're getting all these things, but they're not really, you don't know anything about these people or at all. Right. And it's great that movie works so good without almost no explanation at all. And so this movie is basically the explanation. So people are like, well, that movie was perfect without explaining it. Why explain it, Right. So it's getting a lot of hate in that sense, but I mean, I personally like really enjoyed it. Like I'm the borderline of I loved it, Chris Hemsworth is fucking fantastic in it. He fucking steals the show. He's the bad guy, and he's like a great bad guy. Like it's up there as one of the great bad guys, I think. Cool. Likeable. Like he has a charm to him, even though he's like completely despicable and does fucked up things in this movie. Right. And it has some really great action. Speaking of like the Fall Guy and stunts and stuff, like these Mad Max movies are what deserves all the fucking praise for a stunt team. Yeah. Shit. Just some great shit in this film, and it makes you ask questions too. Like it's a really smart movie. Like I think if you watch it, you will be surprised. You're not gonna get this fucking crazy action movie. It has its moments, but it's a great like story, kind of like a fairy tale story. Like I really fucking liked it. Yeah, I mean, I think even from Fury Road, the fact of the no explanation and kind of just going into it, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps fucking going. I don't know if that took away from the experience, or I don't know what it did, but I remember seeing it and then thinking like, okay, well, the movie's over. You know what I mean? And that was fun, But I'm curious. Sure. I want to know what the fuck's going on. Yeah. You need to do yourself a favor and watch Fury Road again, and then watch this movie, and then watch Fury Road again. Because this movie literally stops like moments before I'll just watch this one and then watch that one. I mean, at that point, yeah, that would be even cooler because it completely recontextualizes the movie, like the storyline. You had your theories. People have the theories about what happened before with Furiosa, right? Now you get it all. She loses her arm by the end of this movie, so you find out how that happens. And I'll tell you what, like, I don't know what I thought would happen. I guess I had my theory. but it wasn't that. And I actually was like kind of like, oh, like that was actually cool. And it's not like a super like, oh, that was cheesy.
Right. So it was like a hot tub time machine. Like, how's he gonna lose the? Oh, is this it? Is this?
I know.
Oh, fuck.
Actually, no. Actually, the movie does distract you from it. You know how like it's called Mad Max Fury Road, but people are like, but that's like really a Furiosa movie. Mad Max is kind of a side character.
Right.
And he barely speaks in it, right? Tom Hardy also rewatching that, just like, dude, the amount that he does with not really fucking talking is fucking fantastic.
That's dope.
He's great in it. And you get more from Charlize Theron as Furiosa. In this movie, it's kind of flipped. The Furiosa character is kind of like the Mad Max character. She's just quiet and just there.
Going through it.
And other things are kind of driving the story. And she's just like, by the end, it is more like her. Like, she hardly speaks in this movie.
Right.
Like, the most she speaks is right near the end. But, like, almost no dialogue in the movie. And Chris Hemsworth has a shitload of dialogue.
Cool.
He's like this basically like cult leader, ringleader guy of a bunch of sick fucks. But like he can talk. He has a way with words. He can rally people together and shit.
He's like a Hitler, huh?
A little bit. Not a Hitler, but like
he had a way with words.
Yeah, I was thinking like, Charles Manson or like a philosopher or something. Just like a cult leader, somebody who's gonna fucking rally you up, say the right thing to you, to be like, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go pillage these motherfuckers,
Right.
And he does a great performance. I really loved his performance. And I think it's like a worthy prequel, worthy of the series. Like, I really enjoyed it. And it sucks that it's not making money because it was written even before Fury Road was written, I guess. The Fury Road took so long to make that they wrote all the backstory to Fury Road before it even got made.
Wow.
And it became a whole other movie. And he wanted to do them both at the same time, actually. It was supposed to be Charlize Theron and stuff, but it took 9 years, so she had to recast. And I guess he wrote 3 movies. And then the other one was supposed to be more of a Mad Max movie. And since this movie's not making any fucking money, the chances of us getting that third one are not.
They'll make it a series or some shit like that, maybe.
Great now. And this director's like in his he's like 80 or something.
What?
He's old.
Whoa.
And he's he did Mad Max, probably the greatest fucking action movie ever, when he was in his 70s.
Whoa.
And made this one in his 80s.
Vision.
Dude, and it's some of the most like brilliant filmmaking. Like, what you see on film, you're just like, fuck, dude, this old motherfucker's got it.
Laying down pipe for years, bro.
Fucking got it, this son of a bitch.
Does he have a nephew or something, like a son that could carry the torch, maybe?
So. And you know what? So the movie, he made Mad Max, like whatever, his first movie, right? He's Australian. Those movies take place in Australia and the outback and shit.
Right.
He used to be a doctor before that shit. And with the stunts going on and stuff, he was like the fucking doctor on his first movie. Like,
wow.
Like shit. Like, the dude was just like, he's just like a genius, like Stanley Kubrick or something. These motherfuckers, they're just like
understood,
just geniuses that for some reason made movies.
Right. I see what you're saying.
He's a maestro. Really good, man. You watch.
I'll check it out. The only other one that I've seen was that Lisa Frankenstein movie.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that came out. Funny enough, I had gone to the mall over in San Jose, and it's the one with the AMC, and they had a big poster for like a cutout where you can stand next to these giant whatever. And I saw that, I was like, I wonder, right? And I saw that it was available on Peacock, so we're like, fuck it, let's watch it, whatever. If it's a rom-com, of course it is. But it's, to my surprise, it's like a new age type of rom-com, I guess. And when I say that, it's kind of like this Euphoria type fucking thing where it's targeted towards these, I don't know, kids, I guess, because it's like a high school movie. And like I was mentioning to you too, there's not like a bunch of gore or anything like that. The things do happen, but there is a particular dick chopping scene.
Is it from a live person?
Yeah.
Yeah, not with it.
It's pretty like, again, I say Euphoria because in Euphoria they show you plain out dick and everything else in between, right? And it was like hugely successful. Mm-hmm. I don't know how successful this movie's been or anything, but we just watched it on the stream. But I think about it and I'm like, you know what? That would have been actually really fun to see in the theater if it was like with a solid crowd and shit. People, you know, react to it differently or whatever.
Right.
But the movie was actually pretty funny. It has some good humor. It has some good stuff.
You basically just made sure I'm not gonna watch it for the dick fucking chopping.
I mean,
thing.
It's a funny dick chop as well. So it's
I can.
Yes, you can.
I can.
Yeah, I've seen you watch things like that, Gordy.
I don't like it.
But all I'm saying is that it was, to my surprise, a solid movie, funny movie.
All right.
Yeah. So other than that, I don't think I've seen anything else.
Lisa, I feel like who directed that?
Yeah, I have no fucking clue.
Oh yeah.
Even the
Zelda Williams. Oh, Diablo Cody wrote it. She's the chick that wrote Juno.
Okay. Well, this is way more entertaining than Juno. That's for fuck sure. Jesus Christ.
Oh, and she did that Megan Fox movie. What's it called? Jennifer's Body or whatever? Jennifer's Body. Yeah, that one. That was a cool.
I didn't watch it, but I know of it.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, check it out if you get a chance. And it's cool too because it does all the head nods to like the dark universe of Universal, right? There's like the
Universal monsters.
It has some play to that. And modernized, obviously, but little callbacks are pretty cool. It's all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I gotta look more. Well, it's PG-13. How bad could a fucking dick chopping be?
That's what I mean. It's funny.
I'm imagining like
no, dude. No, why do you want? I don't know what's wrong with you. Why do you go to the worst? Make it fun. Make it lively. If it's gonna be...
Look, I'm kind of seeing the trailer of this movie right now. I didn't know what you're telling me. Lisa Frankenstein castration. I'm not imagining a fun film.
Well, you know, I went into it blind too. I think we watched the trailer as it shows in the streaming service, and then we were like, "Fuck it, we'll watch it."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks kind of fun.
Yeah, check it out.
Maybe. Anyways, all right. Well, let's wrap this bitch up.
For sure.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you follow us on the social medias, the Instagram or whatnot. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you listen to all the shows on the network. We're brought to you by Salad Bites Media each and every episode. Our producer Oz out there still doing Selena's Underground podcast, I believe. I hope.
I'm sure he is.
And there's other shows on the network, so go check all those out. And hopefully it is not another year before we release another episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Another half year.
Yeah. All right, Bono. Say goodbye.
Later, man.
Sayonara, Sammy.
The Electro and Bono